terrifying encounter in abandoned cabins. Tonight, I'm about to share a story that will make you think twice before stepping into an abandoned place. These cabins were more than just old, they were cursed. And what happened inside them will haunt you forever. Grab your headphones, turn off the lights, and listen closely. The story. It all began on a quiet Friday morning when four friends, Liam, Sarah, Noah, and Emma, decided to take a trip far away from the city chaos. They were in their mid-20s, young and eager for adventure. Liam had found a blog about hidden spots deep in the forest, places untouched for decades. One post mentioned a series of abandoned cabins built in the 1950s for loggers, now left to rot in isolation. "This is perfect for our weekend getaway," Liam had said, scrolling through the pictures of moss-covered roofs and broken windows. "Creepy, but cool." Sarah hesitated. "I don't know, Liam. Those places look wrong." But Noah laughed. "What's the worst that can happen? We camp there, take some photos for Instagram, and head back." Emma agreed, and so the plan was set. They packed their bags, grabbed some snacks, and piled into Liam's old SUV. The drive started with laughter, music, and jokes. But as the miles rolled on, the road grew narrower, the trees taller, and their phone signals disappeared. Soon, they were driving down a dirt trail with no signs of life, just endless trees and the occasional crow. "Feels like we're driving into another world," Emma whispered, staring out the window. When they finally reached the clearing, they saw them, 6 weather-beaten cabins standing in a crooked row, half swallowed by the forest. The roofs sagged under years of neglect, windows were cracked, and doors leaned open as if waiting for someone to step inside. "Whoa," Noah said, stepping out. "This is perfect. Creepy as hell, but perfect." The air felt heavy, damp. The smell of earth and decay lingered. And yet, despite the unease crawling up their spines, they moved toward the cabins. The first cabin they entered looked like a time capsule. A wooden table still held rusted cutlery, cups coated in dust. A newspaper lay on the floor, its pages yellowed and brittle, dated July 16, 1956. Beds were unmade, and clothes hung in the corner, eaten by moths. It was as if the occupants had left in a hurry, and never came back. "This is insane," Liam said, taking pictures. "It's like everyone just vanished." But Sarah noticed something odd. The dishes on the table weren't just dusty, they looked recently disturbed, as if someone had touched them. By the time they finished exploring, the sun had dipped low, bleeding orange light through the trees. They decided to set up a fire between the cabins, sitting in a circle with their lanterns casting shaky shadows. They ate, laughed nervously, and tried to convince themselves the place wasn't as creepy as it felt. Then came the first sound. A creak. Slow. Long. From one of the cabins. They froze, glancing at each other. Liam stood up, gripping a flashlight. "Probably just the wind," he said, though the night air was still. He walked to the cabin where the noise came from, the others following close behind. The door swayed slightly. He pushed it open and shone the light inside. Empty. Dust hung in the beam of light. But then Sarah whispered, "Look at the floor." They looked down. In the thick layer of dust were fresh footprints. Bare feet. Leading deeper into the cabin. The temperature seemed to drop instantly. Noah laughed nervously. "Maybe an animal." "Animals don't leave human footprints," Sarah snapped, her voice trembling. They followed the prints, which led to a small bedroom. On the bed lay a Polaroid photo. Liam picked it up, his hands cold. The picture showed all four of them standing outside the cabins, taken just minutes ago. How is this possible?" Emma whispered. That's when they heard it. Laughter. High-pitched. Childlike. Coming from the woods. Panic gripped them. They ran out of the cabin, scanning the trees with their lights. The laughter faded, replaced by whispers, soft at first, then louder, circling them like predators. "We need to leave now," Sarah said. They grabbed their stuff and headed for the trail. But after 5 minutes of walking, they found themselves back at the clearing. The cabins stood there, looming like sentinels. "No," Liam breathed. "We went the right way." They tried again. Different direction. Faster this time. But the result was the same. No matter which way they went, they ended up back at the cabins. The forest wasn't letting them go. By now, the night was pitch black. Their fire had died, and the darkness felt alive, pressing against their skin. That's when Emma screamed. They spun around and saw it, a figure standing in the doorway of the farthest cabin. Tall. Too tall. Its limbs impossibly long, its head tilted at an unnatural angle. The flashlight beam shook in Liam's hand as he aimed it at the figure. But when the light touched it, it was gone. What the hell was that? Noah shouted, his voice cracking. They backed toward the center of the clearing, clutching each other. The whispering returned, closer now, like voices brushing against their ears. Then, one by one, the cabin doors began to creak open. Slowly. Deliberately. From the darkness of each doorway, shapes began to emerge. Dozens of them. Children. Pale. Hollow-eyed. Smiling. Their faces were cracked like old porcelain dolls, and in their tiny hands, they held Polaroid cameras. Click. Flash. A sudden burst of light blinded them for a second. When their vision cleared, the children were gone. But in Sarah's hand was another Polaroid, a picture of her, with something standing behind her. Something tall. Something grinning. The forest erupted in laughter. High, shrill, deafening. The ground seemed to tremble as the shadows swarmed in. Liam grabbed Sarah's hand, screaming, "Run!" They ran toward the woods, branches clawing at their faces, their lungs burning. But the laughter chased them, closer and closer. And then, silence. Morning came. A ranger found their car parked by the road, doors wide open. But there was no sign of the friends, except for a trail of Polaroid photos leading into the forest. Each photo showed them running, screaming, looking over their shoulders. The last photo. 4 empty cabins under the pale morning light. And in the window of the last cabin, a tall figure, watching. If this story sent chills down your spine, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying tales. Turn on the bell icon, because the next horror might be closer than you think.